Yeah, I've been running and running to keep it 100, it's all that I wanted. But lately I don't get the stomach. The higher the summit, the harder the plummet. They know me all over this planet. I'm just a man and I can't understand it. Proud that I win and I did it myself. Probably wouldn't if I got the help. Hearing subliminals all on myself. Feel like I'm breaking, I'm falling to hell. Told me I'm sick and I tell her, oh well. Rather be dead than to know that I failed. Live for the chase, life is a race. I'm out of space, so me get on my face. I got a taste, well the whole plate finna get laced if you step out of place. Like, first off, you don't run nothing. All talk and your team bluffing. My squad, we all dream crushing. We ain't rushing, no discussion. All I know is us made for this. Paid for this, yeah, slave for this. Been down and I'ma get it right. Get on sight like down and I'ma get it right. Get on sight like been down and I'ma get it right. Get on sight like never really know when you're gonna go. Why you gotta put another foot in front of yours? Bury them toes, carry them close. I was never one to care about my mentos. I was like froze, now I'm on floor. Give me that smoke, but I can't get high. We do the most, here to inspire. Doing what I'm supposed, but I can't get tired. Run for your life every night. See in the dark, blind by the light. I got the spark, I got the pipes. All of my arts coming to life. Had to face my fears while I chase my peers, and I found my spot. About time that I found myself. I've been out here walking that walk. Like, first off, you don't run nothing. All talk and your team bluffing. My squad, we all dream crushing. We ain't rushing, no discussion. All I know is I was made for this. Paid for this, yeah, slave for this. Been down and I'ma get it right. Dead on sight like first off, you don't run nothing. All talk and your team bluffing. My squad, we all dream crushing. We ain't rushing, no discussion. All I know is I was made for this. Paid for this, yeah, slave for this. Been down and I'ma get it right. Dead on sight like down and I'ma get it right. Dead on sight like been down and I'ma get it right. Dead on sight like
oh yeah. Are we talking about losing control? I'ma show you how we lose control, baby. Watch this. Look, Marty Mark. Watch the way I start up. I've been going hard, but I can go way harder. Every beat I'm on, yeah, you know that I slaughter. And I'm always looking gorgeous, chilling with somebody's daughter. Yeah, she loving me. Say she love the way my chain sit and contemplate. And of course it says my name if you wanna ring. To let you know who's finna blow. Always win and check the scope. I'm only losing control. Oh. I like losing control. I get high when I'm feeling a flow. My mind is focused and I'm ready to go. Ready to go. Nah, nah. Let's go. I'm only losing control. Oh. I like losing control.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're dreaming. There's no way that you make it. And maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fight back.
What is going on, everybody? It is that time once again where we play some Dead by Daylight. Hello. Ignore me for a second while I get my beanie back on correctly. We don't have much time. Maybe time for like a survivor game, or maybe I'll do some kind of custom thing. But we have a little bit of time because we do have a debate here in roughly 20 minutes with Spook. I just got out of D&D, so I've been having a good time today. I will keep it up on the side. I am going to shoot a message over to Spook just to let him know that we are good. Okay, just let you know. No, I am all good. Actually, we should be fine. He'll send me a message around 8:30, actually. And what is going on? Just to let everyone know, what are we going to be debating about? I'm going to ready up real quick. We can get one survivor game in. What are we arguing about today? It's going to be our crutch perks in DBD. He will be arguing that they do not exist. I'll be arguing that they do exist. And then I might go over the should they add voice chat proximity and post-game chat. I probably would argue against it, but I'm a little less comfortable on that topic than I am the other one. In terms of, like, I can't think of an actual good route outside of saying I don't trust behavior in the department of managing it. You also got out of D&D. Hell yeah. Can I give a build request for later? You guys can do build request, but they will be done later. Yes. Any build requests that come through will be done later. I was hoping to start like 7:30, but I got out a little late of D&D. If you guys have not already, I'm going to go ahead and give the link over to Spook's channel. You 100% should be checking out Spook's. He's the one hosting the debate. I never like going into someone else's stream without giving them some kind of shout out, or at least letting everyone know they should be going over there and watching the entirety of the content. You should always go over there and watch what is going on. I think it's always helpful, and it's very entertaining. I enjoy watching debates. I enjoy being a part of debates. I think it's good to have a conversation, but yeah. It's a lot harder to argue against some of these things than others. I think I can make a pretty good point on my area. Yes, I'll be streaming it. I don't know if I'm really looking to utilize it for content of any kind, because I think that's going to be more on him. It's his content. He's the host. But maybe if like a few weeks go by, he doesn't want it or something, maybe I will. I'll upload it to YouTube that way. But it'll at least be on the stream. That way people can come see it. And I can link people to come see it, which will be nice. Because some people missed our last debate. And I had no way of linking them. Outside of like, hey, this old VOD. Where because I stream on YouTube, I can hold a VOD, I can cut it up, and like link it, and people can go see whatever they need to then. Thank you, Lola. I should be able to get one Survivor game in here. Hey, Floor, what's going on, buddy? Woo. Tonight will be a somewhat short stream. About another 3-hour stream, probably. What the fuck is Super Chat? Super Chat is a YouTube thing. So, like, think of, like, donations from Twitch. YouTube does Super Chat. Bum, 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 bum. I am going to try and keep here up in a... That way I can kind of see. That way if he needs to postpone, we can. Oh. What's on this out? What's the debate gonna be about? You know what? It's in like 15 minutes. But just to give you an idea, it is about whether crutch perks exist in DBD. We actually spawned really close to Mikey here. A lot of us spawned really close to Mikey boy. Surprised you made it to an early stream. Crutch perks for killers and survivors or both? The crutch perks existing in general. Or I'll be arguing yes. And I do believe yes. I could probably be a contrarian on most points for DBD, but some are a little harder to argue for. Ms. Cannibal, thank you so much for the biddies. You're not late to stream this time? Hey. She was working on a totem over there, by the way. Hopefully we stay away from stream. That's okay, man. If you don't, you don't. I normally know. If all of a sudden things like stop, like I have to go, like I don't have a list, like, oh, you probably fell asleep. There's sometimes a totem over here. Girl of the hunt. This will work. Hope it's not a tombstone? No, not a tombstone. He didn't stalk enough people. Not unless he like super stalked somebody. But it doesn't seem to be the case. Oh, it's tombstone. I was horribly wrong. But it's tombstone specifically. I was horribly wrong. Lightborn is a crutch perk? Could be. But again, I'll be going into my stuff later. I didn't think it could be. I didn't think we had enough stock on him. That's horrifying. I was so wrong. Horribly, horribly wrong. Alright, we're good. I was so wrong. Never saw the add-on exists. It's a pretty high risk add-on. He's over there. Because he got my totem. So now I go back and get it, but I gotta find Thrill first. So Thrill Ruin. Got him. Name Wyatt? Yeah, we have, I think, a Wyatt in YouTube chat and a Wyatt in, at YouTube. 2 Wyatt gamers. I need to find Ruin. That's it. Oh, he pulled her out of a locker. That's good. Smart. That's what the first survivor should have done. The great counter. How's it doing? Pretty good, man. How you doing? I don't see him moving over here. He is, though. He's just gonna like that as a pentimento. But if I can get rid of Thrill or Ruin, we'll be looking pretty good. Either or. I did not get rid of Thrill, so this isn't the one I need. You guys ever just have a dog come over and sit by you and then fart? That's what my dog did. That's a hard fall. I thought I heard the like burning, like the totem. Oh, hold on. This could be Thrill or Ruin. It's just gotta be one of them. Leg status destroyed. Oh, he actually downed her. Yeah, if I can get rid of Ruin or Thrill, we're looking pretty good. Nice. It's something, dude. Rough. There it is. They still have Pentimento. But Thrill and Ruin are gone. Okay. He's just letting you know he's there, pretty much. That's why Ruin Undying, Thrill, Penti? Probably. 54%? No, she didn't. She was on stage 2. I'm breaking so many totems. I spent a good chunk of this game just breaking totems. I know where all the totems I've broken are, though. Which is the upside. Funny, saw her. Oh. That's all I got. Yeah, give me. Yeah. Like on death. All right, let me try and Kobe real quick. All right. Cool. We are good. We're all good. Oh. Let me go ahead and at least bring Spooky up a little bit here. All right. Let me go ahead and get somewhat out of this game.
Yo.
Hey, what is going on, man? Can you hear me good?
I can hear you. Are you live as well?
Yeah, I was. I had to go live either today.
Oh, nice.
And I was hopefully have some people who came out to you. I've had people excited ever since I announced we were having our debate on the Tuesday. So people have been excited to see it for quite some time. And then because they didn't get to see the last one, and some of my guys were a little upset. Even though I tried telling people like, "Hey, go watch over at SpooknJukes. I'll be there."
Yeah, I'm really sorry about all the reschedules. It has been a very wild few weeks.
As someone,
I'm making your
go ahead.
Your background, your character is going to be Freddy.
Can I not get the Predator?
You know what? That's a fair request. That's a fair request. I could give you someone else. Yeah, let's go with. I just Pyramid Head. We'll do Pyramid Head. He doesn't have any weird backgrounds, does he?
Well, he likes to hump mannequins, but to be honest, I'm a little bit.
Look how big he is. Oh my god! Whoops.
I like it. No, that one works.
Okay, let me just. Okay. Shit. Hold on. There we go. Yeah. Oh my god! You're fuck. Okay. No, let me just make you a little smaller. Sorry.
Yeah, like this one humps mannequins, but it's definitely better than being the Predator.
Yeah. Yep.
What is going on, man?
All right, you're nice. You're nice. So yeah, feel free. We've already debated before, and I'm sure people in chat might already know who you are. But feel free to introduce yourself, and then tell everybody what brought you here tonight and what we're debating.
Yeah, I am Reds Gaming Gears. We did a debate a while back. I've been in the community for a really long time. I am on YouTube and Twitch side alike. Last time we had a really fun debate where we were arguing whether the game was killer-sided or survivor-sided, but we kind of did a subsection of that argument where we kind of took it a little bit farther and made it more like at the highest level, which I thought made it a lot more interesting, or at least a different, harder stance or a little bit more interesting stance to kind of take on it. I think it's a little harder to argue the other route when we talk about like the current everyday Dead by Daylight. And today, we were going with crutch perks don't exist. I'll be arguing that they do.
Okay. Yeah, we've actually I've went through that topic a couple times today, so I'm interested to hear your specific take on crutch perks.
This is so a crutch perk is just a crutch in a game just simply means that something that is relied on, and typically the user will suffer significantly in their gameplay once it's taken away. So just like a crutch, if you're on crutches and I come and kick that crutch out from underneath you, you fall. Well, the crutch was there for a reason. It was to help you or to give you something to stand on. And this would be the same thing with, I mean, you might not have to fall, but like you might have a much more difficult time without it. And normally it's also because you've gotten accustomed to having that crutch with you. Some people, when they get off of either crutches or you can utilize the perks, once you take this thing away, they start to significantly hurt their play style or their gameplay in general.
Yeah, my general argument that I have had with this is that, in my opinion, it's either you believe all perks are crutch perks or none should be considered crutch perks. I think that any perk that gives you an ability, if you were to take it off, you wouldn't have that ability. You wouldn't be able to rely on it anymore. and you would probably do worse or have, it's playing perkless versus playing with perks. I think just calling them what they are, perks, is more accurate, because even calling them perks, and it probably is like this with any game that has perks that you can equip or unequipped, that you're going to perform better with the perks, and if you take the perks off, you're going to lose those benefits and you're going to perform not as well. So I just feel like calling them perks makes more sense, and I guess we'll start there.
Okay. Like you can definitely argue that perks are different in the power that they give, but there would also be perks that can sometimes, again, we have some goofy perks that don't really offer what I would call like a crutch. So like if we were to take Hoarder on Killer, it's not really ever going to be considered a crutch perk. It doesn't.
But if you were to but if you were to rely on it and you got value from it, and if you didn't have the perk on, you wouldn't have gotten that value. Does it not still fall in that?
We can fundamentally tear anything down to the idea of being a crutch. You can say, hey, if I have like, if my keyboard is a little bit better, I might have a crutch on the keyboard. But even in that case, if I bring Hoarder and I see a survivor pick up an item, I'm probably not developing anything where if I take Hoarder off, I'm going to be significantly hurting. It's not hurting a little bit. It has to be significant. Again, you are on crutches because you cannot walk without them. So let's start with significant.
Do you put items and offerings in the same categories then? I'm assuming like a toolbox would be a crutch, probably.
It depends if it affects your gameplay. I would say toolbox is probably a little bit harder of affecting your gameplay to a grand scope, because it's probably not affecting your ability to hide. It's not affecting your ability to like loop the killer. It's not giving you more information that you can then rely on. And some perks are also like, we'll stick with the toolbox. We'll do one topic at a time. That way we're not bouncing. So toolbox, probably not. A medkit, though, could. Medkit can make you make riskier plays and things that give you a lot more value rather than a toolbox. So that'd be one of the things that you.
But if a toolbox is like if a toolbox ends up being the difference between whether you get a gen done before pain res goes off, like.
Winning or losing or doing better in the game has nothing to do whether something is a crutch perk or not. A crutch perk just simply is about your gameplay. Just like, again, if you're on the crutches and I kick it out from under you, if you start to significantly perform less because of it, I guess you could, again, we can go fundamentally, you can tear anything down. You could
that's what I'm saying, though, is like with the toolbox, for example, if you were to bring that toolbox in and then your gen's at 80, and you're like, I'm gonna use this toolbox because I know that the survivor is gonna go down, and I want this gen to get done before they get pain res. If that toolbox gets that gen done, and even say it's the last gen, even
okay,
and if you didn't have that toolbox, that gen doesn't get done. I feel like that pretty significantly would impact.
It has to affect like
the game.
Yeah, it can affect the game significantly, but not the game. Like it's not affecting your gameplay in terms of like. Again, what aspect of your game outside of like doing the gen, like does it change if you don't have that toolbox? You still do the gen. You might not get the gen done, but you still are doing the gen. It's not changing how you play. So, for example, one route that you might look at, like a crutch perk, could be.
I don't think that's true. I don't think because I think if you don't have the toolbox, you'd probably get off the gen because you're not. You
might make a different choice, but you're not. It's not changing your like gameplay fundamental. So, for example, a crutch perk is something that normally once you take it away, it's going to significantly impact you. So if you're relying on something, we'll go with the obvious one that I'm sure you've already heard. We go with something like Windows Opportunity, and I take that away from a player, and all of a sudden they can't find a pallet to save their lives, or they can't loop as good, like significantly, or like hurting all their looping, then that is affecting their gameplay to a significant level. Whereas, yeah, you might take a toolbox away, and maybe like one out of so many games, it might be the game-winning or the game-losing reason, but that's probably not going to be affecting your everyday game. You really don't have to like change the way that it's not going to have a massive effect overall negatively. So, like the games once you remove that toolbox. If I take the toolbox away from the player, are they significantly hurting? Probably not, because the toolbox is how much time does the toolbox save in your game, and how much of a part of the game is it?
So Windows is so what are some other examples of besides Windows of like crutch perks? In your opinion?
It's anything that can be relied on to like a degree to which that you like you can take it to exhaustibles, for example, or for killers you can take it to things like no-ed, or you can take like information perks to killer are a really good one too, because they can, like, if you're, let's go with killer because I'm a killer main, so if I go to survivor, sometimes there's a little bit of lost reasoning there. But if I'm a killer and I run aura perks all the time, let's say I'm nurse. Nurse is actually really known for, like, one of the meta things she'll do is bring a whole lot of aura perks. If I take that off that nurse and her gameplay significantly is hurt because of it, she was probably crutching on those aura perks.
So I guess because you have just the term perks, and then you have the term crutch perks, and then you have the term meta perks. There's a lot of different terms for perks, and I guess I think that in general, I think that it is rare for the mass majority of players to not be using at least one crutch perk by your definition in their build. So but I'm guessing you would probably agree that basically everybody uses crutch perks then?
I think everyone can be susceptible to be making a perk a crutch. Like, even I would be susceptible, and I go through moments where it's like, man, I really like nowhere to hide. And all of a sudden I kick a gen, and like, or like maybe after I run a nowhere to hide for a month, I take nowhere to hide off, and all of a sudden I'm having a lot harder time finding survivors. There's probably signs there that I was utilizing nowhere to hide to, like, it was being a crutch. Now, we can argue whether crutch is good or bad. I'll just argue that crutch isn't bad. Like, it's a game. It's not bad. You can bring whatever you want, but doesn't make that perk is not a crutch perk at that point.
I just feel like sure, there's severities to, like, how much a perk can, like, impact your gameplay versus others, but I think if you were to run any perks for a month and then you took those perks off, even if it was like Windows versus something less significant than Windows, I think you're still probably going to pretty heavily notice that being taken off, and it probably will impact your gameplay until you get used to not having that perk. I feel like that would probably happen with, like, most perks.
But then well, I mean, most perks, you could say you could develop a crutch probably to anything if we really go to semantics. I'd say you're probably not going to develop a massive crutch perk on things like, obviously, no Mither, because I don't see enough of an advantage there to where you could justify it. You could justify a whole build, and maybe you crutch on the whole build of, like, a gen build. But I don't know if that would even be able to be enough. If I took that away from you, is your gameplay going to significantly be impaired? Probably not. Your gameplay might actually go up. And there are also perks like this that happen all the time. Like, alert can actually help players out. It's actually a really good perk. And it actually can almost help you out when you take it off too, because you learn something with the duration of having it. The same thing like Windows. Anything can be used, but let's use like alert. One of the things you can do with alert that's really helpful is if you're in chase against a killer and they go to break a pallet, that alert goes off and you now know that they're trying to mind game you and you run the other way. This might not ever occur to a new player until they run the perk. So even when they take that perk off, they might now try to go for this thing. So it might not significantly impact them in that way. Though, again, you could then argue, well, now they don't go for it ever because they were so used to it. But that would just go back to saying that they were crutching on the perk, which would still...
But then your example with Windows then,
yeah,
where it's like
could
they run it for run it for a month and then they take it off, and now they have memorized tiles and they know where to go. So then they just, like, when they take it off, their gameplay really isn't significantly changed because
they were not crutching on that perk. Correct.
So it's not really about the perk then, it's about the individual more so.
Well, yes. I mean, anyone's susceptible to being like a crutch perk. Yeah, individuals can handle it differently. We normally fall victim.
So that's what I'm saying is, but that's kind of, I got into this a little bit in a different debate where I think it really depends on the individual, because each individual is going to crutch on different perks
or be
versus
more,
others,
or be more susceptible to certain perks. Correct.
Yeah, so like even when you look at perks like head on, like somebody might be so used to running head on for a month and then they take it off and then they try to head on a killer, and then they die. It's like, it's like you just get into the habits of using a perk and then you get thrown off when you take it off, and it like might negatively affect your gameplay. But like you probably wouldn't consider head on a crutch perk really.
It would have to, again,
but I don't know.
We have to play into severity at that point. That's the harder area, is you have to go to severity. Like how it has to be significant. Again, if you sprain your ankle, like you might not have to be able to walk on your ankle for a little bit, but if if someone steps on your sprained ankle and breaks your actual foot, you're probably gonna be in a cast with a crutch.
Well, yeah, but if you have a head on, for example, if you try to go into a locker to head on somebody and you don't have head on,
right,
that's most likely just ending with you immediately getting hooked, which is a pretty severe impact to the match and your game.
I think we're looking at this differently. You're looking at like a game. I'm looking at like the course of like the next 10 to 20 games. Do they hop in that locker for the next 10 or 20 games? I'd say that's probably less likely than if I took like windows away from a person who's never gone a game without windows. Like, there's probably going to be a longer adjustment period to get back to the norm.
I disagree. I think if you had somebody that used Windows for a long period of time and they took it off, they would maybe have a brief few matches where they're not seeing the auras, but I think that the time spent using Windows to learn all of the tiles and learn the maps, like that time spent, I think that most people would quickly adjust to not having it because they're so used to now the tiles. Like it'd be weird not seeing the auras at first, but I don't think that that's something that would affect like over 20 matches if you've already been learning the tiles for X amount of time.
There are other things that come at the effect though of running Windows. It's not just like the tiles itself, it's what tiles have already been dropped or used. So this knowledge can significantly change a gameplay. Like you can be running and then all of a sudden, like in your normal game where you don't have this vision, you're running to a tile that actually you see, oh wait, there's no pallet there. Now I changed my direction, and this is something that could significantly impact you over the course of like so many games. And then the moment you take that off, these people are running into dead zones that they would never ran into previously. Because you've removed something out from the equation. And now they will get used to it. A crutch, the weird thing is like most things can probably be utilized as some kind of crutch. I mean, there's probably some areas like in some perks that you'd be hard struck to ever find someone crutching on. Again, if you just bring like Hex Thrill of the Hunt and no other hexes, if I remove that Hex Thrill of the Hunt, is your gameplay going to change? Probably not. Like you can, and of course we can pick it down. Well, like in one of those games, like it might have saved you a game, but in the majority of your games, if you always ran Hex Thrill of the Hunt because you thought it was a good idea, and then I took it away from you, and there were no other hexes in play, your gameplay probably doesn't change too much.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm all on board with like there are certain perks that are much better than other perks, and that's why like metas exist, and that's why a lot of perks are used much more than other perks. I still just think that all perks can be relied on even to a fault or to like a detriment, even if you want to. To me, I don't think it's a detriment. I think if you want to use the same perk over and over again and quote unquote rely on it, like just like you said, like who cares? Yeah, go ahead. Like you have your comfy build, like use it. That's awesome. Good for you. But like I think that can be done for stealth builds, for gen rush builds, for chase builds, for killer. I think it could be done for stealth builds or gen regression builds or end game builds. Like I think that any kind of, depending on the person and depending on their play style, I think that certain perks can be relied on to a quote unquote fault, where if they stop using those perks or builds, they'd be like, whoa, I'm not used to this. And it would take X amount of time for them to adjust and improve their overall gameplay. But I think again, like it's hard for me to pin it down to just a few specific perks when every individual relies on different perks to different degrees.
And I think this normally falls also into killers. Like if you're running Huntress or Nurse, you could probably have a higher chance of falling victim into crutching on something like aura perks. These are really common. If you're a newer player, you can really fall into the victim of crutching on like 4-gen slowdown. Even if it's not the most optimal, it can allow you, for example, killers do this all the time, where they'll run like quadruple slowdown, and it allows them to make so many more mistakes because they're not getting punished for it, that they don't actually work on a lot of the mistake areas in the game that they should be working on. And the moment you remove these perks, these players fall really, really quickly on their face. And
see, but the thing is and that's something that I think is interesting, in that again, it's not so much about the perks, it's more about the individual, or in this case, the killer. So like your example with Huntress and aura reading, that's a good point. Just like Leatherface and Myers putting stealth builds on them. They're going to get much better value out of stealth perks than like Trickster or Huntress, who like have lullabies and maybe like
Trickster
they don't have it.
Trickster gets great value out of stealth, surprisingly enough.
Okay, I'm sure. Yeah, I don't play a lot of Trickster because I'm bad. But what I'm saying is like there's a lot of killers that won't get nearly as much value as like Bubba would with stealth, because he can just pop out and insta down you before you can make it to anything. And then you have killers like Twins and Sadako who would really benefit from stealth builds, whereas like a Freddy might not benefit as much or from a stealth build. And then you have killers like Legion, where like they would be super reliant on like a anti-healing build where you're running sloppy nurses, gift of pain, thanatophobia, or like plague with thanatophobia, for example, is super strong because of her specific power. And then like Doctor running the like merciless overcharge, and because they complement his specific kit and his add-ons. But whereas like you wouldn't run this like your Huntress build on Doctor or on Bubba, because like those wouldn't function as crutches for those specific killers. And if those if other perks function as crutches for some killers but not other killers, then that's where I'm like, I don't know if the perks themselves are the crutches or if it's more about the individual.
Well, that's why I went with the force slowdown. You can apply that to pretty much any killer, and we definitely know that newer killers, when they come, they're immediately going to gravitate to these massive slowdown builds because it allows them the most mistakes. And normally, if you're not being punished on mistakes, you tend to not fix them. Whenever I do any coachings with people as well, one of the first things they'll do is, man, my games feel like they go so quick the moment I don't have these things. Like, okay. And like if they run those things, they never encounter this problem and they never make changes to fix it. And then once I like have them break it away and they're able to see their mistakes, they can immediately begin to fix it. But as long as they keep doing this thing, the moment they take it off, they're going to go through a really, really, really hard time. Now, they'll eventually learn, hopefully, and not get anger and quit. But that means they were crutching on those perks. It doesn't, again, the idea of saying like, well, if all perks have a capability of being crutched on, then there can't, like, it's not the perk that's a problem. Well, then we start going to like, again, yeah, people can crutch sometimes on different stuff for sure.
But that's the point.
Where is the crutch? The crutch is in the perks at that point, because they are utilizing the perks as the tool of the crutch, just like a crutch is an actual tool to walk.
But what I'm trying to say is, again, my initial point at the beginning of this was like either all or majority, at least, of perks are crutches, or none of them are. I think too many people, and I'm not saying you, but too many people cherry pick specific perks and label them as crutches when there are so many other perks that would fit into that same category. And so it's like, in my opinion, you either have to say like 80-90% of the perks in the game are crutch perks because they can be heavily relied on, and to a fault by whoever is like, as the individual is relying on those perks because of their specific, how it complements their play style or how it complements their killer. So like, it's a large percentage of perks. So if you want to, can
we tackle this issue? Let's go ahead and tackle this issue. I'll start throwing out some perks. So maybe we can do something here. 80 to 90% is a lot. And in one way, you can be right, because we have 4 perks we get a pick from, which allows us to do builds. But perks individually are not as crutchable as other things. I tossed you out one a while ago, which is Thrill of the Hunt. If you just put Thrill of the Hunt by itself, nothing else, all of a sudden, this perk can't be relied upon. And if I take it away, your gameplay is probably not changing at all. Like if you only ran Thrill of the Hunt, are you going to notice it when I take it away from you? Like, in all honesty? If I give you, and obviously other ones know them either, but let me move away from that one. Auto Didac. If I take that away from you, chances are you're actually not going to miss it, because the perk isn't going to get enough value the majority of the games to actually let you miss it or to develop a habit that needs to be broken. But now,
got you. So it's more about the strength of the perk. That
not always. It has to be habit forming. You can have something that's strong, but like not habit forming. Like Will Make It might not actually be habit forming, but it could be. Like that's the harder area. Normally, the better the perk can, like. A higher value can sometimes attribute, though, to a higher ability to like develop a crutch on it. Like, again, for slowdown, really impactful perks. They're going to have a high likelihood of you developing some kind of crutch towards it. If I take certain perks, yeah, we can definitely, if the weaker the perk, you probably have less, but there are probably perks out there where, you know, if you have NOED and you're a really good player, you're probably not crutching on NOED. because you might not be even making it to endgame where no ed's the issue. And no ed itself might not actually be that crutchable. But to a new player, it would be. There's a few things in there it's a little harder. It's probably easier to find perks that I would say aren't crutchable in terms of like just if we had to go through them, there's a lot. I have no problem going through them all, but you'll probably find out there's probably not that many crutchable survivor perks as we would think. And there's probably not as many crutchable killer perks as we would think because the vast majority of perks that come into the game tend to not be really solid. Like the last few killer, all Shaking Thunder, that's not like you're almost never crutching on that. Like you're not going to be able to get consistent enough value to probably be habit forming. Not that I could imagine.
So we're basing a lot of this now on like whether the perk itself on its own outside of a build would like have a high impact on the game.
We can go and start there and then go to builds if you want. The route I'm trying to break away from is you're doing the thing where we're almost like minimalist it, where we've like minimized it to the point where like if something is crutchable, it's because of the player, not the perk. Well, it's like, well, yeah, but we're almost ignoring the tool possibility of the perk. But I think we're in.
All I'm trying to say is that like because everybody's different and plays different killers and stuff I'm trying to say that like perks and builds or play styles or even add-ons like can be used to like you would rely on them if you just use it over and over again, and each individual killer or player depending on their play style or their ability are going to have different perks that complement that. So that's all I was saying is like again like aura reading perks aren't going to be a crutch for you if you never play Huntress or Nurse.
I was tackling the idea that you said like all the perks have to be crutch or none, and it's like so that's where we went to like the more single. So I started giving ideas of perks like that. If I were to throw this perk in a build and you were to remove it, you're probably not missing it. Like, and it's probably not affecting your gameplay enough to where I would say it's a crutch perk, or you're going to be crutching on it. And again, normally you can go no mither, but people will just say, well, you can utilize that for a gen build.
It's tough. Yeah, I guess it's tough to do because a lot of times when you run a build, the perks complementing themselves is that not part of the crutch? Like when you're running Windows and Live together?
Okay.
Like
can you give me
because you could take away Live.
Can you give me a build really quick with Autodidact that fits Autodidact that you would think is crutchable, I guess?
Outside of Chaos Shuffle, I don't think I've ever used that perk. I know it's a healing perk, but I gotta be totally honest with you. So, that's gonna be a struggle for me.
That's fine. Autodidact is you start the trial with a minus 15% penalty to skill checks to heal other survivors. For every successful skill check, when you're healing a survivor, you receive a token, up to a max of 5. Each token will grant you plus 15% progress. So you're starting at a negative, and then over time, you get faster and faster healing. But when most okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so maybe I would do empathy and botany knowledge, maybe could be good, or maybe even throw in circle of healing. I don't know. It's botany, perks that help you. Perks that help you find survivors, and perks that increase your healing speed would probably be good.
Autodidact would probably be anti-synergistic with that build outside of empathy, because you're going to be healing so fast that you don't get a skill check. So now Autodidact is no longer worth it. And the moment I tell you to take that perk off,
that's a good point.
You no longer miss it. Well, you could run it with something like Deadline.
Right, I was going to say Deadline because you get more skill checks. But you only get more skill checks when you're injured.
Correct.
Right?
Yep. So if I have you remove those perks, does your gameplay significantly change? Probably not. So those two perks would not be crutch perks, or they would have a much, much, much less likelihood to be a crutch perk, which is where I would throw them into the probably not crutch perk. And again, we can always say people are habit forming, but human beings are habit forming. So it's a hard area of that one. But if we look at the likelihood of perks, everything can kind of change a little bit. Thrill of the Hunt on its own isn't, but if you told me like, well, what about a whole hex build? Yeah, if you take Thrill of the Hunt off, now, yeah, that build's going to go. You could now crutch on this instead of learning how to protect totems. Like you could definitely crutch on Thrill of the Hunt.
So you would like perks like Brutal Strength, Bamboozle, and like Enduring. Would you say those are like good examples of crutch perks in your opinion?
Brutal Strength, probably not. It's probably not impactful enough for you to develop the thing, but it can be a feel good perk. Enduring for sure. because it can be habit forming where you eat every pallet on some pallets where you're not supposed to. So like if you're someone who's playing enduring, you don't care about pallets. You're just gonna head forward it, and if something gets in your way, cool. And you're not gonna be as punished as someone who is like trying to dodge the pallet, but you're also not gonna be learning maybe where you're supposed to not get stunned by this pallet. So it could be habit forming in a negative sense. Whereas if we were to look at like Bamboozle, Bamboozle the same way. One of the things that we joke about, especially if you play a lot of Survivor, and I know you play Bubba, so maybe you've heard the terminology, is called Bam Bam Brain or Bam Brain. So you're so predictable that you are vaulting everything. And players can learn to play around it, but it can create a negative habit of you just vaulting everything rather than learning how to play the tile. And so when I remove this thing from you, your gameplay significantly is impacted. And now all of a sudden, Bamboozle is a high likelihood of becoming a crutch perk for sure. You're gonna see it a lot in high levels of play. You're gonna see it a lot in low levels of play, and it is a really good perk at dealing with some of the most frustrating tiles in the game and just quickly nipping them in the butt. That's where, like, if I take it off your character, do your loops get significantly longer? Are you having a much harder time catching survivors? Does it last for more than like a single game? You probably were crutching for quite some time on that.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, I think, yeah, the more that we've talked, I mean, I think I agree with what you're saying. I think I definitely agree with you that there are more perks that are going to have more of an impact if you took them off, that they would impact your gameplay. And if you want to classify those perks as crutch perks because you would fall in your face more if you took them off, I could agree. I see what you're saying. I could agree with that.
I think that's the only way you can ever argue it, because if people like come out and say, well, like, what about this perk? As long as the player is fine when you take it off, they're not crutching on it. That's just point blank and simple. Windows is a pretty hard one. That one you almost always are going to fall a little bit, but that's because you get so much information off Windows that most people are going to be impacted, even the best Survivor players. If I'm like, hey, you're going to solo queue today, and like, hey, you're going to run 50 games of like Windows Opportunity, and the moment you take it off them, they're going to be running into dead zones like left and right. It's not their fault. It's from their team throwing stuff down. These could be like significantly really good players. So it will even significantly impact like their gameplay. And so some
I think where this whole I think where like the whole mindset came, where I was like crutch perks don't exist, was like just based on the experience of, over the years of, people will, because I'm a no-ed lover. And so I get told that I run a crutch all the time, but the people that I'm playing against will have exhaustion perks or adrenaline. I guess that's an exhaustion perk, or like Windows, or that they'll have super strong perks that are obviously very much heavily impacting the game as well. And I'm just kind of like, well, but I'm crutching, you're crutching. If I'm crutching, you're crutching. We're all crutching. Like, why do like let's just like, who the fuck cares? Like let's just.
Dead by Daylight.
Let's just call them perks. We're what you're trying to say is we're all using perks that are in the game because we can, is what you're trying to say. Like, so that's where I'm like, man, I just like, yeah, but I it's, in terms of like the way that you described it. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. There definitely are perks that would have a heavier impact if somebody were to use them for a long time and then take them off. I would definitely have that with certain perks.
I would have it with certain perks, especially if I'm doing like 50 games, I'm trying to do like a win streak game. You're not going to catch me on perks that aren't going to be helping me, significantly helping me. And the moment if let's say I did 100, like let's say I did the best build with Wraith and I did 100 games, I was going for like a big win streak, and then I like take all that stuff off and then I go to play real serious with Wraith, and it's like, man, my game is going by significantly faster. Well, I was probably making up for some kind of weakness in my gameplay. Like, let's say I'm running Bamboozle, my looping is probably going to suffer on Wraith a little bit. Now, I might want that against, like, the best team, but I'm probably hurting myself by running it so often where I might start slipping up. And
so is there, like,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, is there, like, as far as terminology, is there, like, at least for you, in your opinion, is there a big difference when you say, like, something is crutch, something is meta, or something is like very, like just more general, very strong? Like, or would you say that those three things in a sense kind of fall into the same kind of bubble? Like when people run meta perks, like I feel like, are most meta perks probably considered crutches in your opinion?
I would say you probably have a higher likelihood of adopting those as crutches. because like they meta perks are meta because they're really strong. That's why they're meta. Things that are really strong tend to be habit forming. So you probably have a higher likelihood of them becoming crutch perks. If a good player has them, like again, if I put you up against a really solid player, he could probably run like a lot of builds, no builds, and he probably is going to do great in 90% of his games. And these things only make him better, and his gameplay doesn't significantly punish if I take them off of him. That's a really scary player. That'd be someone like Cope. I don't know if you've ever seen Cope play. He's gonna like when you're in a game with Cope, you're gonna know because he's gonna be running tiles incredibly efficiently well. He can have no perks, all perks, doesn't matter. He's gonna be running tiles great. If he has Dead Hard, awesome. He'll make good use out of it, but he's not crutching on it. If I take it away from him, he's still going to be an amazing player. As far as the players you get who are complaining about crutch perks, they'll complain, they'll run crutch perks, but me and you both know, and it's going to be fun to both of our viewers because I like doing it sometimes. Dead by Daylight is filled with like 90% of hypocrites. So a lot of them like to complain when it doesn't favor them. A lot of them, love to cry when it does favor them. Like we're seeing that right now in live time with people literally on the syringe situation. Like if we argue objectively and you're on one side, you're going to yell at the other side and it's going to go back and forth. It's Dead by Daylight pretty much in a nutshell. And I'd say the vast majority of players are probably utilizing a crutch somewhere in their build, unless maybe they're playing it for a living at some point and they're like really competitive. I'm sure if me and you play the game, like we're probably good in like certain areas. But like I'm sure from my understanding from like watching you play, you're way more chill than I am. I'm gonna play more serious almost always. We're both gonna play to win, at least I would assume. But we might both get there and do different things, or in that situation where it could be vastly different. And like how we structure even our content seems to normally formulate around that. Yeah, as long as they're not significantly hurt, they're going to be fine. And that's the only way you can ever say it. But if players are complaining about it, it's always the players who are normally running as many crutches as they can to benefit themselves. And the moment it doesn't go their way, they're going to attack their side either for a crutch. I have this, and it's always egos. Like I have an ego. I bumped into a player yesterday. He's a great player. We're both really, really good players. We headbutt all, like whenever because I'm in anon mode, so he doesn't know it's me. And like I do that because people will treat me differently if I bumped into him before. Sometimes they're toxic. Yeah. Sometimes they're toxic little shits, but they know it's me. They'll tune it down. I don't want them to tune it down. Don't change because of me.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
Act how you're gonna act like the next person playing, and we will bump heads. And people will ask sometimes like why I give it back to them and stuff like that. It's just like, well, I have an ego. They have an ego. We're both good players, and if you feel like you've been slighted in any way, maybe I got auto-pulled twice and it cost me a game, I'll probably be tilted at some level. And that person might come in and be like, you know what? That game was fucking easy, dude. You suck. I might say some shit back and he might say some shit back, but that's just two egos bumping. As long as it doesn't pass the line of like slurs and being an absolute like, hey, buy some rope. That's crossing the line. Yeah. Right. Like that stuff is tossing the line, but egos get into play and then everything gets fucked up and you're not able to like situate what is like a logical route. Like we can argue like with the syringe thing with hens, you can make a very good argument. Syringes are really strong. But then people will attack hens for his statement coming after the fact he lost to a group with syringes being the reason he had that plan. Two things can be wrong and then two things can happen and be true. So it's Dead by Daylight. We did have another topic though, and this one I am not as confident on. So this could be interesting. Because I don't know how I would tackle this one, and I always, whenever we go to these debates, whenever we get an idea, I try and write all of my stuff down so I have some points to tackle. And this was the harder one for me to get it. You'd mentioned something about proximity chat. What is your stance on these chats? I don't know if anyone's asked you on these yet.
Yeah, we talked about it. The first debate of the night, we talked about it. My general stance on proxy chat is, I think it would add a lot of fun meme and content potential to the game. Like when I played, just relating it to the same genre of game, like Killer Clowns from Outer Space. When that game first came out, I think it's probably dying now, sadly. But it was really fun when I was Yeah, but that game has proximity chat between your teammates and between the clowns. And a week of playing the game, like it was like every experience I had with it was like super funny and hilarious. And obviously anybody on the internet knows that when you add proxy chat to an online video game, there is potential for toxicity, slurs, awful people saying awful things. And that's, you know, that's part of adding voice chat, which can suck. But for one, people get reported and get banned. For two, if you're somebody who really doesn't want to hear that stuff, voice chat always has a toggle on and off. And if you don't want to hear it, then just turn it off. Just like Fortnite, which is widely considered a kid's game. A lot of people consider it a kid's game, which I don't necessarily consider it a kid's game, but that game is when you solo queue in Fortnite, you have voice chat even. So yeah, I just think that adding voice chat to DBD would be hilarious. And then also, there is the rage content would also be fucking, because I play on PlayStation a lot of the time, and some of the best, funniest salt I've ever gotten is when I get voice messages sent to my PlayStation, or if I get invited to a party chat on PlayStation, and that shit is so goddamn funny that
It's
I
also
just
a
know
payday for you.
My viewers love that shit, and I love to deliver that. So like, you know, if there was more of that in DBD, I think it'd be funny. But I don't think that. I think there'd just be a lot of funny, goofy shit that would happen, like Killer being like, "Get your fucking ass over here," and like, just like goofy shit. And I just think it'd be really fun.
I see the fun aspect of it. I think I've made the statement of how funny would it be if Billy missed you on a chainsaw and just yelled "fuck" as he was like vrooming away, like just a long fuck or like a really big sigh.
Oh, you just hear him go away.
Fuck, in the distance. And it's just or like bumps.
Yeah,
yeah, I could see that. Unfortunately, there is a big difference. I think that Killer Clowns does have when it comes to like Dead by Daylight, and I think people when they join Killer Clowns, there are always going to be competitive players, but I think that was viewed as less competitive as what people take DBD, even if like that'd be a different. I think the vast majority of the player base views, even though they say DBD is not a like competitive game, I think when they get in the game, that changes and goes out the door really, really quickly. That's why like complaints are almost always like, I want to win the game and I want to have fun doing it. I don't ever want to lose the game. I think this can negatively impact whenever we talk about like proxy chat. But yes, being able to turn it off is always a big key thing, and I don't have really a counter to saying, hey, just turn it off. Except for maybe it's one of those things where we have to look at behavior. It's like, what if you don't turn it off? Is behavior as a company capable enough to dealing with a mass amount of reports, and do they have systems to go back and then track people like dropping like hard R's, dropping insanely amount like of slurs, targeting people? Remember, we had to remove Bubba's stuff because like apparently we couldn't just like Bubba used to have all different face color. We had to remove that.
Yeah.
So
yep.
If the community is so bad, we have to remove like cosmetics. When I now have a killer who's chasing someone, and like racially tunneling them, it can become very impactful very quickly and negative for your game. And while for like someone like me and you, like again, you give me salt, like it's just like for me, I'm viewing it as like sweet content. The average person is not doing that. The average person might hop into that game, get ripped up, and then be like, you know what? I just can't. And turn it off is one thing, but I don't know if I can trust behavior enough to implement enough safety features for their player base. But I guess you could always argue that it isn't, a mature game for a reason.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the point I was making earlier with if it can be in Fortnite, then it should be able to be in a rated M blood and guts horror game. And with not only, because this is another option too that is pretty much always an option in voice chat games, is even if you don't want to turn it off completely, there's almost always like you can mute specific players. You can do that in Texas Chainsaw, you can do that in Call of Duty, you can like wherever you can just look at a player list, you can select a certain player and just mute them. So the second somebody starts spewing some annoying shit, like report, mute, all right, don't gotta hear you for the rest of the match. That's that, easy peasy. And but like any game that has voice chat, you're gonna have shitters on the internet that might be awful. And there's Call of Duty is a pretty notoriously toxic community too. in a very like
Call of Duty's rough.
sexist community
Yeah.
too.
Call of Duty
Yeah,
lobbies
like
are rough.
there's treat women terribly. But like one positive I've seen from that is I love like I've seen so many like women content creators who like take that and like just like they take these fucking sexist misogynistic fucking pricks and then they just like destroy them and like play way better than them and just like make them look like absolute fucking clowns. And every time that one of those pops up on my timeline or on my For You page on TikTok, I watch the whole fucking thing. So I'm like, I just love watching those guys get shit on and like get karma basically. Like, oh yeah, well you're being a sexist, but she's a fucking way better player than you, and you're like you just look like a dumb fuck. It brings me a lot of satisfaction to see that. And I feel like I would feel the same way about DBD, where it's like I could see situations where some killers like talking a bunch of shit, spewing a bunch of hateful shit, and then the survivor just absolutely dominates them and makes them look like fucking idiots. And then, you know, I get to see certain situations like that are satisfying and entertaining to watch.
I can see them being satisfying and entertaining to watch, but that's where I would immediately go back and say those are content creators who get to do that. They're not the everyday person who's
right. But if you're somebody who's not a content creator, and this came up previously too, though, just because you're not a content creator.
One more thing, real quick. I do have one topic I think would be a little bit more impactful, but we'll go to this first. Not different topic, just a different thing that I think would actually be another route that could be, but it's more gameplay-esque. But we'll continue on the content route, because if you have something for it, I definitely want to hear it.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, I don't think whether somebody's a content creator or not takes away from the comedy or the entertainment of situations like that. I mean, just going back to when before I became a content creator and I just played games for fun, like playing Halo online, playing Call of Duty online, like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Halo 3. Like I was really big into playing multiplayer games just for fun and like never making content. Grand Theft Auto 5 online, I played a bunch, but didn't make content. And when stuff like that would happen and people were being shitters, like it was funny to me all of the time. It's like just because I wasn't making content doesn't mean it wasn't entertaining and hilarious to me. And that doesn't mean that it's going to be hilarious to everybody, of course. And if somebody doesn't want to hear that shit or deal with that shit, they shouldn't have to, and they don't have to, because you could turn it off or you can mute the individual. But for the other people like myself or you or anybody else, content creator or not, who just finds it fun and entertaining, and not just talking about the rage, but again, just the meme potential, like the hillbilly thing you said, or like going up on top of a high area, like the Dead Dog Saloon, and like the killers down below, like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Like, I don't know, just really goofy, silly shit. Or like when I play bartender Bubba and I'm like pretending to bartend, being able to actually talk to the survivors, like, yeah, you want a scotch on the rocks? And like just do stupid shit to like amplify those really fun, goofy meme matches would be really fun. And I just think that like it's a shame that like the toxic people are like what prevents all of that fun shit from happening.
Yeah,
when it's like, dude, we can
toxicity,
yeah, it's like we could just mute them and ignore them and pretend they don't exist. Or if we don't want to mute them, we can just fucking laugh at their like shitty behavior, like me and you do when people want to be asshats. We're just like, haha, this is funny and it's content. And people who don't want content or to laugh at it, they just say, okay, muted, bye. And then everybody else could enjoy the fun.
The hard part though is like stuff can get said before the mute button comes into play. That's always interesting. You can drop something. And now, to be fair, I also live in the world where when I grew up, like you played online, time to get some tough skin. Like that's where I grew up in. But when I talk to people, especially the girls that I know that are like friends, I ask them about games and stuff. One of the things that normally gatekeeps them in general from like certain games is always gonna be like voice chat. In general, voice chat. Because there's not just like people dropping slurs, just the weirdos, etc., etc. Now they can mute it, and again, that can always be the route. But just the moment of being in there and then something getting said can dissuade you from playing. Again, though, it always becomes really hard in terms of ever trying to gauge that. In terms of like would be like how often you'd have to like, get a poll in terms of whether it's good or bad for the game. Like, can you get enough of a poll to say?
If you are somebody who is regularly affected by that, like people saying things,
they just don't.
Wouldn't you just be somebody who turned it, like just didn't have voice chat enabled?
I would assume so, but from when it talks, they just avoid the game. They just don't play the game. They just go find a game they do enjoy or that doesn't have that feature. Like here's Here's the thing. Have you ever played League of Legends? Maybe you have, maybe you haven't.
I have not.
Okay. Endgame.
Not my cup of tea.
That's fine. It's definitely. That's where I was born in the hate. Okay, I was molded by it. These guys here. If I wasn't told to drink bleach on a daily, I wasn't doing something right. When it comes down to like the endgame chat, it was never used for anything positive, ever. Like you might have 1% of your games being something positive. Like chat normally becomes, I think you did something wrong. Now I'm going to tell you. And the moment I tell you, our win chance is going to go way, way down, and our fun and like our issues are going to go way, way up in a different route. So there are other issues that do come into play. And League is definitely one of the
But
ones
we
that's
already
known
have
for
an
being
endgame
toxic.
chat
You're
here, right?
And it is often not used for what I would say is like, oh, hey, good job, buddy. Every now and then you'll get one side that says GG, or it's normally a side who's complaining about what you did wrong or something they don't agree with, or just nothing in general. It's not normally utilized for what you were thinking of like a funny haha moment.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely.
That would be.
It's one of those things, man. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
First of all, we know. I think we both know. I said this in the last time too. I think we both know that this is something that's probably never going to come to Dead by Daylight, and that's okay. I'm not somebody who is like, God, please, I want. Like, I don't care. I've enjoyed the game just fine without it, and I definitely can see the flaws. I'm more so just like thinking of the meme potential, thinking of the funny shit, and just wishing that there wouldn't be a bunch of toxic shitters that would ruin it. That probably to some degree would, and it's unfortunate. But man, it would be fun if they just added like,
I wouldn't mind.
I don't know, like another game mode or something, like kind of like Chaos Shuffle. Like, I don't know.
I want more of the competitive route where I'd love eventually like some kind of ranked, like with actual like strict rulings, showing of MMR where people can really go for it. But I enjoy more fun game modes too. I really hate. I have one more issue on the voice chat one, but one of the things I really don't understand is whenever we get these new events now, like the winter event, why we still implement like the same basic core rules, like, hey, do gens, find like and run away from killer of this situation where it's like, man, if you just remove like the idea of doing gens and put like a time limit on the game and different objective, how much that would change like the game overall and how much it would be more of a
I think it's stupid that they even make them.
Yeah,
it's stupid that they even make them separate game modes when it's just like a winter event or something. It's like just do what you've always done and just add some fun holiday stuff and keep it all in the same game mode. Or like you said, if you're going to make a new game mode, then make it a unique game mode. I agree with that.
Yeah, that's, again, I would like those are, I think that'd be a much better way. Like, could you imagine if like the snowman thing, when you were doing the snowman, like stunning the killer, yeah, like you still want the looping element or maybe the hiding element, but if gens weren't a core issue, so killers don't feel incredibly frustrated when they, I mean, how many people get frustrated at these events because they either feel like they're, again, we go back to the normal rules, but they're basically just playing a normal game of Dead by Daylight because both sides devolve into why engage with the mechanic when I can just do the game and win. But if I take away the win condition, say, hey, here's a time limit, you have 10 minutes. This is how you get points, and the way of getting points is fun. Like, hey, if you hit a killer with a snowball, like, guess what? That's like 50 points. It's like, wait a second, now the game kind of changes for a second. Or maybe you make it harder for survivors to snowball. You know what I mean? You can change the gameplay.
I agree with all that. Yeah,
we're with the voice chat, the only other issue I could see, if we had like a dedicated voice chat, it could discourage changes to bring to solo queue and the Swift queue closer and make it more of like, hey, you have voice chat as a band-aid fix. So that could be another issue I'd see. Because behavior's done better over like the last year when it comes to balancing, but they're not known for being incredibly good at balancing or being very quick to react or fixing really core issues with the game. So like, if you gave them an easy out, they might just be like, hey, I mean, if you want to be better, just hop on voice comms. Like, you want, like, whereas I think if they went, like, the Smite route, at least Smite, I think, does kind of a good area where it's like, hey, you have voice chat. Well, I don't want to utilize voice chat. Well, hey, Smite has, like, a button command that you can use to at least let people get a pretty good idea of what you're doing. So if you haven't played Smite, it's like, you might hit, let's say you hit 4 buttons, and it might tell you, I am going here, or I am doing this, and it's very
it's just like, it's basically a more advanced kind of ping system so that you're, Yeah.
And I think that.
I think the general community definitely wants that for solo queue, absolutely. And I think they've taken steps in the right direction with the the whatever you call what they added to solo to Survivor. You could
The
see who's on
UI
a gen,
changes.
healing, kill. UI changes. Yeah, that's definitely a step in the right direction. And I think I wouldn't be surprised with all of the new big updates they're adding if they added some more stuff like that. I don't remember if they mentioned, but I thought maybe they did mention about adding a ping system. But
Yeah, I think that would
That
all
would be cool.
I think that would be good ideas to help bridge the gap because solo queue's in a bad spot right now for sure. Like there's just no
Yeah.
way. Solo queue is like the worst experience you can probably have in the game right now.
I agree.
And I
Yeah.
hope they can. Now you can.
Absolutely.
It's also a mental thing, but yeah, it's rough. Like playing solo if was horrible.
It is tough. Yeah, it's tough for
Is
sure.
there any other topics? I know we've tackled the two. I don't know how much time you got. I'm always down to debate.
No, I think we're good. I'm a little bit behind. I did have somebody at
Okay.
9, so I will jump over there. I don't want to keep them waiting too long, but I really did enjoy all these topics. You definitely got me really cooking and thinking on the crutch perks thing, and I really understood what you were saying there. And I understand what you're saying with the voice chat thing too. I think with that, I'm still pretty set in my ways of like I would absolutely if tomorrow
I'd be okay
if
with
tomorrow
it.
if tomorrow they said, hey, we're gonna add proxy chat to DBD, I would be like, fuck yeah, dude. And then, I'm sure if it was a problem, I'm sure the community would uproar about it and behavior would either add changes or remove it, and that would be fine too. But I think it would be fun to at least have for a little bit and try it, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that was
But
the
it's
one
not gonna
happen.
happen.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. That was the one where like people were asking
No.
me, I'm like, oh, I could probably go either way on it. I could probably argue either way on it
Yeah.
because it's a really hard point. It's just more of a do you want it? And like for me, it's like, yeah, I could go with it. Like it'll be funny for a game or two. It could also be really
Yeah.
not funny for a few games, but at the end, I wouldn't mind them trying it. But yeah, that's no problem.
Mhm. Well, thank you for taking the time again. This is just as fun and productive as the last one. I love having you on. And if there's anything in a future debate night, that topic you see, or anytime you want to come chat it up, you're always welcome. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you so much, man. This is always fun. I hope you have a great night, and I hope your internet stays strong.
Oh, man, I hope so too. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Take it easy, brother. And there we go, guys. The debate night is over. Now we get to play some actual games. All right, that was fun. I enjoy doing the debate nights. If you weren't, make sure you were always on both channels. Just to let you guys know, this was the channel. This is SpooknJukes. This is who I was debating. Always worth checking out. An amazing person. I'm going to try and get to the comments. I know during that we weren't talking a lot about comments, but this was kind of the idea of tonight to start out with. And now I can at least show people whenever they do. I was away in cooking. Yeah, I thought it was really fun. I always enjoy doing those debates. And hopefully I can always tackle the issues in a good way. But how are you guys doing? T, as a girl, voice chat really annoys me. I always automatically have it muted due to all my bad experiences within every game. I always mute voice chat, except for every now and once in a blue moon. I just don't enjoy having it. But if there's a mute option, I normally don't disagree with it being in the game. That's where it's like really hard to argue on. But now we get to play some games. And so I want to play another Survivor. I think we're going to go straight into Killer. I always say this, but I've seen you act like a football coach who was losing by 50 points, yelling at their players when in solo queue. Oh, yeah. Yeah, solo queue's rough, man. Solo queue always feels pretty bad. But that was a lot. I always enjoy doing those. We opening the builds up? Yes, builds are open, guys. We are back to a normal stream for at least an hour and a half, probably. And we already got that. Play Freddy with only Predator. Oh, God, here we go. I have to play the Predator. Play Rip Pinhead. We will see what is going on. Guys, for all those who enjoyed being here, hey, thank you so much, okay? It always means a lot for people to come on in and sit down with things that are not just gameplay. I know it's always different, but to me, it's one of the more fun things. But now we actually get to hop in. I'm just joining now, but what was the debate about? You know what? I just pinned it. I'll pin it one more time here. I recommend just heading over there and watching it, man. It was a lot of fun. Awesome. And again, I think like whenever we do the debates, maybe there's a different way I can, if I ever get a part of it doing another one, hopefully I do. I'll have a little bit better way of streaming it, but I wanted to get so many more gameplay out today, so we'll try. We do have a build first that came out. Lightborn is a crutch perk. It could become one, I guess. Not always, though. Not always. I'm always a solo queue gamer. I mean, so am I. I suffer. Dragon script. Probably won't get the most value out of that, but that's okay. Unforeseen. Plaything and Dark Devotion. Silver Bell. And Eerie Feather. Possess the Exposed. Oh, it's undetectable. Our skin is undetectable when Birds of Torment is in cooldown and she holds no dire crows. I don't know if I'm able to get a lot of value off this build, but I'll do my best. Okay, let me move this stuff down. Cool. Did you discuss the political value of Chucky nerfs? We did not get to Chucky nerfs. Maybe we'll do something in the future where we have Chucky nerfs. I had a Myers that basically told me out because of my skin I had on my Felix, and that killer's excuse was that he was tired of seeing the same skin. Yeah, I thought that was Spooks. I was away cooking and cleaning. This better end up on YouTube. Want to watch it from the start. I will let Spook do all of his stuff. If for whatever reason Spook doesn't want to utilize it, I might put it up in a few days if he's down with that. Or otherwise, I'll just keep this stream up, and I will like section the stream off so people know where it's at. That way I can show people when they ask. Because last time a lot of people got missed the debate, and I felt bad for them. Debate was both were right, honestly. Solo queue, the problem is giving up, and at least DC, not die on first hook, was cool. Yeah, I think it's a fun thing. For something else, Stinger is fine too. It's supposed to be exposed stealth. Well, I think I'm committed. Red playing as the most terrifying. Gwyneth Paltrow. Oh, that. Gwyneth. It won't be a ranked match, not with this shitty MMR. Well, the idea with ranked would be that you would have better MMR. That was a ton of fun though. I know it's definitely on a different day, but that's okay. The downside is everyone who thought it was going to be on Tuesdays. The thing is, I have to go watch like all of the debates now because I enjoy listening to Spook and his debates with other people. Howdy, dude. I'm not like prepped. Hi. Can you not? Thank you. I have Dark Devotion. I can probably get relatively close to this, actually. Who is preemptively running? Did Dark Devotion person come over here? Howdy. I really like the debate. Also reached the first 3 days in all your videos. Hell yeah. I only have one crow. Thanks, dude. Would love a podcast with Red where he discusses all things DBD and can have some content creators and special guests. You know what? I would not mind doing something like that with, especially I think Spook, because he already has kind of the idea. I think that'd be kind of fun. There you go. Who was the first 30 killer with 30 days? Oh, I don't remember. That's a great question. I have no idea. Did you see his debate with the cheater last week? I couldn't stomach his reason and logic. Yeah, that's... I haven't watched all of it, but I've seen some of it. Like, me and Spook could never ever argue about that stuff because we just agree on most of it. But those would probably be like the most interesting kind of debates, if you had to ask. I barely missed him. On cooldown. I don't know if I ever get enough value here. Got him. Thank you. Don't get on my gen. Aww. You weren't on my gen. Is this gen going? I feel like that's odd. Oh wow, she actually cut back in. I didn't expect that. Got him. We probably won't get value out of Dragon's Grip. Not that I can think of, at least. Because we kind of have anti-synergy here. Because Unforeseen is going to match up a lot. Yeah. Maybe I do this. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, definitely not really too much build value here, but I don't think you're ever getting value off Dragon's Grip. I tried, though. Going up. Not going up. That was way, way off. Have I crashed out on DBD? A little bit, but normally it's over like really, really silly stuff. Got her. Okay. It's just a build I've seen someone else do. That's fine. I see you're gonna have a hard time with like artists probably getting the most value out of it. That's okay though. I should catch here. Did that not register? Don't know. Maybe map dependent? Maybe. You have a unforeseen. Creates a terror radius on the spot you want survivors to go. It might be better with trail. Playing Warframe, I was wondering why no one's joined my games, and dumbass really said to solo mode. That's the best mode, okay? What was the debate between you and Logan about? I just got here. We went over a few things. Voice chat, we went over, hold on. We went over, the perk, the crutch perk idea. Ooh, so close. No! I can't allow it. He's been using trail on Myers every match. It's insane. Myers does get really good value out of unforeseen. I mean, not unforeseen, but undetectable. Got him. Woo! Been using trail recently and definitely with Tombstone. Yes, yeah. Mikey boy does get some good value. Because again, you're one shot, right? One shot makes things pretty spooky. Say best for last, Demi. I don't mind say best for last. I've been getting more and more value out of the whip lately. Or just having more fun with it. Got him. Want to play one dip? Any tips and recommendations? She's kind of like a trap killer and a range killer, so don't forget about that. We still got some really good like shots in this game though. Like we shut down loops relatively well. We got like a good snipe on a gen because of the unforeseen. So like we still got most build value. I think you're just gonna have a hard time getting it's a little overkill. Like you probably don't need Plaything. Dark Devotion, Unforeseen, share the same ability, so they can't both be active at the same time. That's also kind of awkward. Dragon's Grip's just hard to get value out of. And then, like, with Unforeseen, if it's active, some survivors will, like, they won't engage because of the terror radius. I wish survivors would stop quitting matches, make solo queue so unfun. Yes, yeah, oh my god, does it make everything so much worse. I just started playing on PC. How long approximately does it take for one to get used to mouse and keyboard? Everyone's different. For me, it took like months to get used to it because I came from like only ever playing on console for like when I was younger. But once I got like accustomed to PC, like I could never go back. Like it just doesn't feel the same unless it's certain games. Certain games I 100% can go back. Guys, I need a quick break. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. I'm gonna fill up on my drinks. I went through a good chunk of that when talking to Spook. So, I'll be right back, and then we'll be playing Freddy next, and then we'll be playing Skull Merchant on Hawkins, apparently. Blech. So I will be right back. Okay, guys? Here's some music in the meantime. All right, be right back.
Drama. Yeah, I've been running and running to keep it 100. It's all that I wanted, but lately I don't get the stomach. The higher the summit, the harder the plummet. They know me all over this planet. I'm just a man and I can't understand it. Proud that I win and I did it myself. Probably wouldn't if I got the help. Hearing subliminals all on myself. Feel like I'm breaking, I'm falling to hell. Told me I'm sick and I tell her, oh well. Rather be dead than to know that I failed. Live for the chase, life is a race. I'm out of space, so me get on my face. I got a taste, well the whole plate. Finna get laced if you step out of place. Like, first off, you don't run nothing. All talking, your team bluffing. My squad, we all dream crushing. We ain't rushing, no discussion. All I know is us made for this. Paid for this, yeah, slave for this. Been down and I'ma get it right. Get on sight like. Down and I'ma get it right. Dead on sight like. Been down and I'ma get it right. Dead on sight like. Never really know when you're gonna go. Why you gotta put another foot in front of yours? Bury them toes, carry them close. I was never one to care about my mentos. I was like froze, now I'm on floor. Give me that smoke, but I can't get high. We do the most, here to inspire. Doing what I'm supposed, but I can't get tired. Run for your life every night. See in the dark, blind by the light. I got the spark, I got the pipes. All of my arts coming to life. Had to face my fears while I chase my peers, and I found my spot. About time that I found myself. I've been out here walking that walk. Like, first off, you don't run nothing. All talking, your team bluffing. My squad, we all dream crushing. We ain't rushing, no discussion. All I know is I was made for this. Paid for this, yeah, slave for this. Been down and I'ma get it right. Dead on sight like. First off, you don't run nothing. All talking, your team bluffing. My squad, we all dream crushing. We ain't rushing, no discussion. All I know is I was made for this. Paid for this, yeah, slave for this. Been down and I'ma get it right. Dead on sight like. Down and I'ma get it right. Dead on sight like. Been down and I'ma get it right. Dead on sight like.
What is up?
Oh yeah. Are we talking about losing control? I'm gonna show you how we lose control, baby. Watch this. Look, Marty Mark. Watch the
Drink
way I
Pepsi?
start
Yes.
up. I've been going hard, but I can go way harder. Every beat I'm on, yeah, you know that I slaughter. And I'm always looking gorgeous, chilling with somebody's daughter. Yeah, she loving me. Say she love the way my chain.
All right. I don't know. Do I like Dr. Pepper? Yes. I had a piece of pizza while I went downstairs to get my drink. What's up, Frosty? And I inhaled, I feel like, a piece of it. You guys know what I mean? Where now it feels like it's just kind of chilling there. What does Predator do again? Whenever you lose chase with a survivor, you'll see their aura for so many seconds. Honestly, for me running one perk Friday, probably not the worst thing. Full pizza is the best. Not really for me. I prefer like actual like melted cheese, you know, the works. None of them. We're all here. It's not perfect, but I have like nothing really else to go on. Hi, dude. There she is. That's why I hate the portals, by the way. Look how much distance this is going to cost me. Just letting you guys know. Because of that, like, miss at the portal now, I just get so screwed. There we go. Am I doing builds tonight? Yep. We do have a limit, though, so once we hit like a certain limit, I do have to close the builds, or they get pushed back to tomorrow. Cool. It's so dumb. It's such a bad area. Because in the real, like in the actual game, that hits. I wonder, can I just do the same thing I did the one time? There's only one way down here, and all three gens are down here. Can I just make them play on it? Nope. Come on. Yes, you can pull them from it, though. Wait, they got her before stage 2? No shot. How are you guys doing? By the way, these are the only 2 entrances down here, and you will not be tagged for camping. And they have to go for that save. Is the build queue pretty filled up? Not horribly. But right now, channel points are probably going to be on the no-go tonight. If you're thinking about channel points, I probably already have enough builds that aren't channel points that will be already going through. Can Survivor still what pallets you're dropping? Yes. We're gonna be playing the Portal game for a bit. There it is. They're both going
Skill
inside.
check Freddy PLS. Perks are Lullaby, Undying, Oppression, and Merciless. Add-ons Wool Shirt and Blue Dress.
Whoa. Add jail. Hi. How you doing? This is the greatest map design. It's definitely something, ain't it? Okay. So this gen. If he stays down here, we're good, by the way. I probably could. No, I couldn't have tagged him on it. Dude, he's able to hold forward all the way to Shaq, by the way. I guess I just get rid of it. That way we can't do it later. That's like the only thing I can do. Okay. Not my favorite thing in the world to do, but it's the right one. Remember when this map came out, it was horrible? It is, yes. Remember, part of this is just like a waiting game. Cool. Okay. I can go to basement. They're both going downstairs. But at least I have a good way back here. It's gonna be a longer game, by the way, when I'm trying to win this. D&D was still a good chapter. Didn't perform as nicely as I would have liked it to, but it is what it is. Dude, that is such a wonky tile. Got her. Second survivor out of the game. We'll go here. And we'll win. Look at that, guys. One perk Freddy. And it's a Swift. This map has some pretty big flaws, by the way, if you didn't notice. But there are good things about this map on the basement, too, that people forget about when playing Killer. Hi, Beholder. Quick note, whenever you're playing down here, people say this is the worst spot to chase in. It's not great to chase in, but it only has 2 entrances, both of which you can see. Survivors cannot ignore the basement. OP lore accurate, yeah. Definitely lore accurate Freddy. Oh. I remember I thought the Beholder was going to be the killer. Oh, that would have been really funny too. How would that even work? Stitch, Witchy, by the way, thank you for the follow. Fire, Dragon King, thank you guys as well for the follow. It's one of those things where, like, can you ever complain about, like, losing? Kind of weird, isn't it? King, quit, buddy. Thank you. Can't wait for Jason. Agreed. All right. Well, there we go. He even took the W. Stealth Merchant. Got it. On Hawkins, though. Gross. You request so much Stealth Merchant that I actually have to go get the iridescent again. Whole second D&D cosmetic collection, so they must have been happy with it. It could have also been... It could have also just been, like, part of the initial, like, you know, signing. But we did get Rogue, so maybe it wasn't part of the original. Who knows? But it could have been something that was set up well in advance. Red finally spending BP. I've been trying to spend them on Trickster because we have so many more days of Trickster. I do have to play some Trickster tonight. Would love a Dracula game with the true form skin if you have it. Yep. Perks, Starstruck, Barbecue and Chili, Hex Ruin, Pain Res, adding Me Works Fang, and the Traveler's Hat. You got it. Could have nurse on Larry's. I could have told you no. See? It goes both ways. Would they do a Goosebumps collab? Feels more popular, maybe. But who are you pulling from Goosebumps outside of the puppet? Like, the puppet's just like the big figure, right? That's like the figurehead for the whole thing. So, yeah, it's hard to say. How many more builds we have? We might actually have to close builds already. We have Skull Merchant. We have Skill Check Freddy. We can probably only take one more build, by the way. Next build that comes in, Nick, let's go ahead and close up. Because I have to, it's a short stream today. It was a short stream yesterday. Today was for the debate, which went on a little bit longer. I'm sure either one of us thought would go on for. And then, which I think happened last time too, which I think is good because it means we're having a really good debate. I hate Tracer, but I enjoy your gameplay and it makes me want to try it out for myself. That's the idea. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. We have this. Another build can be fit in there, and then yeah, I'll just work maybe on Trickster on my off stream. Mary Shaw could be pretty cool, but it's not massive, so I don't know if it'd actually get us any value. Nurse, please build up to you. Okay, add a nurse build, and then we'll wrap it up. Builds close. Go. I know it's a little bit less gameplay and stuff today, but that was kind of always going to be the thing. I can't really do long streams without fucking up my whole schedule. I was hoping to see you play with SpooknJukes. I mean, I'm sure maybe in the future we can do something. We've never done anything like that. Normally we do the debate thing. I think that's more up our alley too. I wouldn't mind though. I like the idea someone else had was like a podcast idea. I would not mind doing podcasts talking things like D&D. I think it'd be really fun to do it with Spook. It'd also be fun to do with maybe like Scott. Scott John would be pretty fun to do that with. I'm sure we have things we would disagree on too. What niche character would I like to see in DBD? I'm a big Slender Man person. I don't know if that's considered niche anymore, or if it's considered niche or not, though. I mean, there's Art the Clown. I don't like Art. Art has such a really good strong possibility. I forgot to bring Hawkins, by the way. Art has a really he could be a horror icon if it wasn't just gore porn, in my opinion. I think that actually is a big deal. Gore, just basing your whole franchise on gore, I feel like hurts it. What's up, Daniel? How you doing? Drought and Hellboy as survivors. I feel like that's just extreme. Is there any survivor that strong? I feel like to do them justice, they have to be able to beat the fuck out of the killer. I want Elvira. I don't know who that is, but I feel like I've heard the name before, and I got a picture in my head. But I don't know how to say it without sounding weird. I kind of want an Evil Dead killer where they incorporate the book and stuff and kind of like Pinhead. I wouldn't mind that. Niche is like Five Nights at Freddy. That's not niche at all. Right? There's no way. Five Nights at Freddy is a massive game. And a massive franchise. I'm going to consider them niche. Unless we're doing a different route. I'm not good with names. Hip-hop. I mean, Trevor Belmont is beating Dracula. Also true. That one I could agree with. But again, it feels really weird. Anyway, isn't Alucard the strongest? Yeah, yeah, that'd be correct. It feels weird though. I wouldn't enjoy playing Trevor. I don't feel like his perks did him justice. Do you? He's fun to have in the game, but you don't really feel like Trevor Belmont, do you? Daredevil as a survivor? I think survivors should have abilities like killers, okay? Daredevil would be awesome in that situation. Not that he should actually be in the game, but the idea of Daredevil. But still pretty big franchise, yeah. He seems so nerfed compared to what his character is. Yeah, exactly. Noah, thank you so much. This will tag down below, by the way. Isn't Soma the strongest since he's a reincarnation of Dracula? Maybe. But that's like the same character. Thank you. They went back and worked on that, Jen. I don't think it regressed. Scorpion from MK for killer. Yeah, you see, to me that just doesn't fit. Oh well. I said combat modes could come in the future. Oh, that'd be interesting. Hey guys, they're going next. Because Skull Merchant. Too oppressive. I did the unspeakable. I played the game as Skull Merchant. Therefore, we must go next. I'd like Roadhog, like a hook killer. Get over here and shit. Isn't that just Deathslinger? Or is it not fast enough for you to feel good? Not fast enough? I think what you'd be looking for, what if there was a killer who had a hook that he could throw, and he threw it really hard, like he'd throw it through walls and yank survivors through the wall, but he moved at 105. Like, basically, you have to land that hook. And, like, it'll go through walls. It'll be really strong. And then he yanks them all, like, he'll yank them through the wall to him when he lands it, and then hits them. Or, like, does something along those lines. Kind of like a nurse idea where if you're not landing your power, you're actually slower than survivors. Someone said Roadhog. I'm just giving it an idea. The Skull Merchant's so OP. Exactly. What's wrong with Skull Merchant nowadays? People just don't like her. I call that win in my books. That right. That right. You tell her. Fuck Skull Merchant. On God. Drama. Nice. Looks like. They're crying about Scully after the gutting. Crazy. Remember, guys, they intentionally nerfed her to try and like prevent this. They intentionally nerfed her trying to do this. See? Like, you cannot get it out of their minds that Skull Merchant doesn't equal go next. Like, they'll never believe it. No matter what to them, it's not a fun killer. It does. You could redo the killer and they would still not find it fun. There's like no ground to stand after de-sting his current Skull Merchant. Exactly. If we're going weird, there's always Homelander. I don't want to go weird. Homelander's weird. He just like jerk off. Wait, is this Freddy? Yeah, skill check Freddy. Shirt. Delay that decreases the delay before the dream pouch rupture. It's gonna throw me off a little bit. Blue dress. Dream snare no longer slows. What the hell? Dream snare remains active for 8 seconds. Oh, this is so bad. It's just so you guys know that they changed these add-ons, right, Saucy? Like, there is no more blue dress for like skill checks. Lullaby, Undying. Remember my first PTB? Deathslinger? That's when I got noticed. Is Saucy here to let me know if that's what he meant? Playing around that killer's playstyle just requires a long match. The survivor got what he wanted, a nice short match. It doesn't require a long match. What? I don't have slowdowns. You can literally run through most of the stuff. You just gotta be like, you just gotta pause every once in a blue moon, or just like crouch walk through it. It's not like a significantly long time. Not with the current Skull Merchant. Well, the downside is, I don't think Saucy's here to tell me whether or not this is what they wanted. The blue dress is actually a buffed old Frey snare pool. Yeah, but it's one. This build's fun, though. I do like skill check builds. Separate, the crazy part is Skull Merchant was never super strong to bring with. She was just good at 3-gens. And even then, it wasn't her that was the issue. It was the 3-gen mechanic. If you put in the new 3-gen mechanic and then add the Skull Merchant to like the big match that people were crying about, it would fall. It would fail. What's been your favorite 30 days Strixer build so far? The stealth build was actually really fun and consistent. It feels really good to get really close as Strixer and then unload on like survivors who are definitely not ready for it. I still have sloppy seals like Xenomorph build just waiting for me to have time to play it. All right, let's see if I can get decent value out of the snare. I can only have one snare down at a time, right? Right to check. I think I leave this. Oh. She, like mind gamed herself. I have to click now. That's weird. I didn't have to click before. I have to get used to that. It's definitely not that much stronger. Yeah. Still bad. Like comparative, that's just way worse. Well, that's I can place it instantly. Hold on. That might be better then. Well, no, it's still the same. If I have to place it on top of them, is the slow stronger or the same? I have 2 Merciless Storms on the first chase, so that's great. That is such a weird spot. Oh, he has the vault there. I misread where that vault was. Well, this really isn't worth, huh? The snare doesn't last long enough to be impactful. I got auto pulled, that sucks. I got auto-pulled twice! I actually got auto-pulled twice. I am gonna lose my mind. Whatever. Dude, the new pools suck. Like, why am I stuck? Ugh. It's miserable to play with these pools. I got a tile. Yeah, dude, it's so bad. The blue dress sucks so much. Oh, that's such a good fake. I have no chase power, basically. On a skill check build where I need to get chases done quick. Yeah. Well, it sucks, but I really can't do much with, like, no chase power. I'm, like, a really weak killer right now. Oh, dude, the snare sucks so much. I just have to commit to a chase, I think. Like, we're either gonna lose hard or we're gonna commit to a chase and get value later. I think that's just the call. And I have to go chase now at Shaq, which really sucks. Got her on the fake. God. Dude, this is gonna be miserable. If I just had normal, like normal snare, we'd have a chase power. But without normal snare, we have like nothing. Because we can't use this add-on in multiple places. We can only use it in one place. Because you can only have one snare out at a time. I'm just gonna eat the pallet. It's all good. I have to get rid of pallets. This game might just be ripped, dude. Blue dress might as well be an F tier add-on. Yeah, it actually significantly makes Freddy worse. Like, it's very noticeable. Oh, I thought I would catch him if he got slow. That's my bad. There we go. I will say, though, the two auto pulls over there were a nightmare. Like, how the hell do I get auto pulled like that? Alright, there you go. There goes, yeah, Huntress Lullaby. Oh, smart. That was less smart. Oh, am I bugged, I guess? This is bad, isn't it? We'll find out. What's the opposite of a crutch add-on? Well. This wouldn't be a it wouldn't be a helpful add-on because your gameplay wouldn't improve without it. I can use that for maybe a snipe later. Okay, I want to go there, but I gotta kick this first. Please? Oh, it's still regressing? Wait, I thought they were working on that. Please swap. Thank you. By the way, borrowed time. Damn it, dude. There we go. Oh. Unlucky. Can you get a save with a fake pallet? Yes. You tried committing it. Got her. Might still be able to pull out. I might still be able to pull out the win. We'll see. Still tough though, dude. Like if I didn't have the pool, we'd be so much better off here. They're gonna run and try and heal, by the way. I don't think they're gonna go to this gen completely. The ping? Yeah, they... Yeah. I thought they had high ping. I don't really have high ping either, though. Like, he still makes the full animation, by the way, of, like, kicking the gen. Got her. She's dead. Got live high. What's up, Speedy? How you doing, bud? I still hate it. I can't. Like, you have to click also to say. It feels weird. Before, you didn't have to click it. You just let go. And then it still sends the wave. Or, like, the animation is sending the wave. It's a little weird. Because, like, watch how he does the animation. He does the full animation, yeah. You think that's how you use the pools to make them step on the same snare repeatedly to make them fall asleep faster? Maybe, but it wouldn't be a good route. Making them fall asleep faster isn't really helpful. Like, in the long, like, it's helpful in a sense when, like, the power is valuable. There we go. But the slow has to be impactful enough to warrant. Like, now what do I do, right? I gotta wait. And then hope that I can get him on a slow here. Yeah. And then I'm stuck in this position. Got him. My boy got played so hard, he's like, you know what? Fuck you, bud. Why don't we have Nancy from Nightmare? We just couldn't get it at the time. I wouldn't mind getting Nancy, though. Because she was definitely a main protagonist. This is such a... Dude, this game sucked to play. I felt so bad to play, like this. Like, the idea might be, well, maybe we'll get more value out of our pallets, but, like, pallets are, like, the easiest thing on Freddy to dodge. Might be one of the worst add-ons in the game. It's definitely a rough one. Oh, she's looking for a healing thing. Another Freddy rework? Well, not another one. This is an add-on that changed my power. Oh. That was rough. That did not feel good. GG's. Alright. Well, I don't ever want to experience that again. True form Dracula. My Dracula's been sloppy lately, but
I will crush you all.
there were like whose sound arms you collected whenever pounds like okay, that makes sense. Traveler's hat. Starstruck, barbecue. Only downside is you probably won't get the best value out of barbecue. Not barbecue, but Starstruck. Hex Ruin, Pain Resonance. Because we have no information on survivors with Starstruck. Oh! Is it like off the record since she was silent? Maybe. I didn't think she was silent. I thought it was just borrowed time. Because she was moving faster. Star Trek gameplay, I enjoy Star Trek builds to a certain point when they are synergistic. The only problem is that we have nowhere, like, knowing where to go. So sometimes that won't be valuable. Maybe if I pay attention enough to the aura, we can find something. Would nowhere to hide be better? Like, if you're ever making, like, a Starstruck build, one of the best things you can run with, like, Starstruck is something like Thrilling Tremors. Rather than Barbecue. Because Thrilling Tremors will lock all the gens that aren't being worked on, which means you know where to take a survivor. To get close enough to them, and then you can get like good value, or you'll have more consistent value. Starstruck's inconsistent as a perk, and then I've done lots of like Starstruck builds in the past. Definitely worth like checking out on the channel. I think I did a Starstruck Wraith build, like almost a month back, and that's pretty solid perks for Starstruck. Is there just a bubble there where the eye is supposed to be? Yeah, that's funny. Almost came in here like a, gonna say like a witch from, I can't remember the name of the show. Damn. Got it. Cool. Another one down. Nice. I didn't think he'd expect that one. Take it. Oh no. Oh no, he got hard stuck into that. Free drop. No Starstruck value, but at least we got the pallet. I went for the power to give her a little bit of time. I want to get this hook in before Starstruck goes off. Maybe not. Hold on. Hold on a second. Almost there. One more. There we go. Got it. It works. What a good run. So many pallets. Only so much time. Gotcha. Yeah. Gotcha. She played with fire so hard there. Don't know why, but that was her call, I guess. Wrong one. We'll see. My power's almost back off cooldown. Oh. I see. I tried swapping my power there, by the way. Ah, damn. Please don't pay me. Damn. I was hoping to glide off that a little bit more. Let's go. Try to find a good Starstruck Dracula. Thanks for helping me untest this one. I'm going to try it with Thrilling next. Thrilling will give you more value. Perk's not a horrible user of it. Starstruck is just not a very reliable perk in general. So when people try and make builds out of it, it can feel a little weird. me that speed. Woo! Woo! That's a dirty one. Just predicted, okay? 5 steps ahead.
Die already.
Got it. One pump! My boy! He's coming in with the Raiderino. What is going on? I hope you're having a fantastic night. I'll pick up. Let's do it. Right, we're there. Fair enough. Gotta try and get over here. Hope you had a great stream, man. It has been a lot of fun here today. Over there, okay. Oh, I tried swapping. Too quick, apparently. I tried. We're gonna get the movement speed here. And then big swap. Ooh, nice dodge. I actually didn't have enough range there like I thought I did. Nice. Got him. She might have decisive. When is the debate? We already did the debate. It was at the very beginning of the stream. It was a lot of fun, too. The debate was a lot of fun. We were able to... I think we did pretty good. I think I give her that. We just go for the 3KW. Gambling this could be risky. Oh.
Don't.
Oh, I see ya. Come here, gamer. What was the debate? Whether or not crutch perks exist in the game. Got him. I'll just go for this. It's fine. Oh, can you not go through that? I thought you could. Oh, I missed it. Hold on. Nice. Good job, guys. Who are the bears? Me and Spook. Whoa. Ellie, thank you so much for the follow. JM, thank you for the follow. Colt, thank you for the follow. What's up? Not much, man. We're pretty much chilling out for the night. I'm actually not gonna be live for too much longer. It was really debate and get like a few games in. What viewpoint do I hold? There are crutch perks, or perks can be used as a crutch. That was my debate, and I think we held pretty good on it. Alright, Nurse is the last killer for the night. Bum, bum, bum. What's up? Not too much, man. We're pretty much just relaxing down for the night. Okay, this is the build we used last time. I'll go chill. That round. But it was a pretty good debate. It was fun. I always enjoy being able to have debates and like just in general having conversations with other content creators about like what we think about the state of the game and stuff. The VOD should be up on YouTube after the stream. Well, the VOD's now. You can go watch the VOD now. You can also go watch Spooky's VOD, which I heavily recommend. You wish you hadn't missed it? Hey, you know what, though? You can definitely still watch it. It was a good time. But it's definitely more of a short stream tonight. And then we get to, hopefully, tomorrow we'll be back on like a normal stream time. We'll see what ends up going on. I got 20 more minutes. I still have to upload like 2 videos for today. But I will probably pay it forward. Who's streaming today? The DVDs. You know what? I'll probably send them to Spook. Does anyone know how long Spook's going for? I know he's been wanting to do a stream for a bit. Because we might send over that way. After this game. It's 3 a.m. I have 4 hours to sleep. Kill me. Oh god, dude. My recommendation is normally turn your volume really low to where you barely hear it and move it away from your eyes. Blue light is definitely not good for the eyes when trying to sleep. It will mess you up pretty good. At least it's what I recommend. If you have a hard time sleeping otherwise. It's Coal Tower. It's fun Coal Tower. See if we can get some good value here. Got him. What's up, gamer? Already gone. Let's go. We've had a lot of nurse games the past few days requested. Ooh. I almost got that grab, by the way. Hi. Do I have anything? We can come over here for now. That way I can at least get Aura Read. Utilizing nowhere to hide pretty good here, actually, this game. It feels good. That doesn't register? Oh my god. I feel like they kind of hurt me on that one. Nice commit. Okay, I've got my blinks up, gamer. So I likes to double back a lot. I got one right here. Will I get barbecue value off of this, though? That's the only question. Thank you. I was saying the other one should have hit. Like I know for a fact, just if that one hits, you do yourself some well-deserved route. Hey, you get it, man. Hope it goes by pretty smooth for you. Okay, I a little overcommitted that blink there. There we go. All right, she's back there. That's fine. I'll get her in a moment. I have a better twin build for when builds are reopen. Thanks to Spooky. Looks awesome, man. Can't wait to see it. It will probably be open tomorrow when we do our stream. As long as I get on point of everything. Do you think she opted in a locker? I don't see crows back there. I didn't feel confident with that one. Felt better with that one. Got him. All right, let's go. I'm fun on solo Survivor solo queue. Team sent us a Hawkins. Was a Trapper, and all 4 went next hook. Wait, why? Trapper on Hawkins is like easy. It's an indoor map against Trapper. That's like the best thing you want to do is like stay in that game. You should be dominating that game for sure. I'm a big person on not ever going next. In general. Have anything else? Nope. Nope. No, nowhere to hide on this one. That's how gross people do that. Like, if you're gonna play, you're gonna play. That's how I look at it. They didn't want to play versus Trapper and Hawk. Yeah, like once the first person does it though, it's kind of whatever. Got him. Once the first person goes, everyone else kind of has the right to like leave, but man, the go next epidemic has been so rough. I see. I should look up more. Can't wait for go next to go. Yeah. Can't wait for go next to go next. I agree. Got him. Dude, my blinks this game have been kind of insane. Here we go. We're going for the save? Hold on one second. Sometimes this one thing acts up. Here we go. Hi, Bree. You're kind of getting it at the very end here, but that's just because today's a short stream. Howdy. I thought she tried fastballed it, and she didn't. This last game, yeah, but don't worry. Today was going to be a short stream no matter what. No! I forgot about basement. Really? I can't blink out of here? There's got to be something in my way. What's in my way? Something over here has to be in my way. Oh, it must have been this tile. It happens, dude. It's the worst feeling. Risky. There you go. Back gen, far left. Blink twice if you need help. Dude, nowhere to hide is just so good on Nurse. It's like borderline cheating. That was dope, thank you. Do you think we hopped in a locker, by the way? Okay. Just because it's real obvious to hop in a locker to dodge barbecue. I still think she's in a locker somewhere. Honestly, I think it might be. I think it might still be shack lockers. I am so good. Clean game, to be honest. And we get Amori. Who do you think is the next killers we had to 2v8? Oh, I have no idea. Hopefully. Who do I want? Dredge? Dredge would be kind of fun, but Dredge would have a hard time because of all the safe ballots. I don't know. Guys, thank you so much for being here. It always means a lot to me. I know we had a little bit different of a night. I know it's a little bit shorter. But it always means a lot whenever I can see you guys out here. I am going to go ahead and send you guys over to, I'm assuming SpooknJukes is still going. He is. Awesome. I'm going to send you guys going over that way. Thank you guys so much. Much love. And I will catch you guys next time. Okay, everybody? Peace. Take it easy, everybody. Let's get in that raid, okay? Have a nice night, guys. Much love. I got to wait for the raid, but we're good to go.